What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sunday Nights Live. I am Headless Not Stark, and today we are talking all about the Cleveland Comic Expo. So I was able to grab a press pass for this con, and this is actually the first time I've been to a Comic-Con in my own city, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. I've been doing cons since about 2016, and it's kind of nuts that like I've never actually been to the con in my own state, or not my own state, but my own city. So we'll talk about it. I have a special guest on tonight. He will be joining me here shortly. We're gonna kind of talk about it. We met Brent Spiner, who plays Data in Star Trek Generations, and it's hilarious because I had no idea that he played. And I don't even know the character name, but he was actually in Independence Day. He was the old scientist, the crazy scientist that they meet down when they get to area, was it area 50, 52 or shit? I don't even remember. But anyways, I think it's area 51, area 51. That's what it is. And he's the crazy scientist with the crazy long hair. And he's the one that we think dies in the first movie and he comes back in the second movie. I had no idea that was Brent, so that was pretty cool. We met Alan Tudyk, who plays a ton of characters. He was, I've been following this dude since like probably Firefly. That was back like in 2002, and so he was there. And obviously for this channel purposes, he was K2SO. He was the voice of K2SO in Rogue One, and he's also right now currently starring in Alien. I think it's Alien Nation or Alien. My guest today, he knows the correct name of it. It's Alien Nation or Nations of Aliens or something like that. We also met the amazing, I'm probably gonna butcher his last name. It's Iman Istefandi, I think. So he played the live action version of Ezra Bridger. So it's funny. After you meet somebody, I find it really funny because I didn't think he was a great Ezra. I really didn't. I thought that it could have been so much better just because I don't know. I just didn't think it fit. But after talking to this guy for like what felt like 10 minutes, I mean, we were up there a long time, and I would say top 5 interactions of all time for me. For meeting a celebrity, it's he was so nice. He didn't not that he doesn't care about other people online, but he got so in, like, I just felt like he was so in awe. But like, he loved the questions that we were shooting out. He just loved talking about everything we were talking about. It's very unfortunate, that I wasn't able to get footage of this. I mean, we took pictures, but like, it's funny how at these cons, what? Let me, I'm sitting here talking about all this. Let me bring on Funko Nerd. You guys have seen him on the channel once or twice. He's been in a couple of my shorts. He went with me. We started this off on Thursday night. We went to meet Adam MacArthur, who voices. I'm gonna butcher this name. I think it's Yuji Itadori. And that is from, I don't even know the name of the anime. Johnny, you probably know better than I do, bro, the name of the actual series. But what really interests me in the interview was that I found out that he actually voiced a character from the Clone Wars in season 4. So if you guys haven't checked out that video with the interview, check that out. It's really good. He's a really, really good guy. It was a lot of fun to talk to him and just kind of find out how to actually become a voice actor. And he actually gave us a website and everything. And I was actually checking it out over the weekend. So, but let me bring on my special guest. So this is Funko Nerd. What's up? How you doing, man?
Funko Nerd.
Oh yes. So Funko Nerd is a huge Star Trekkie person, and Trekkie, I think we call him here. I don't know what we call him. Well, I know what I call him on the Headless Night Shark channel. I don't call them Trekkies. There's a different word I use, but because I want to be and he left. Look at that. He just leaves when I say that. But Yeah, but so here we'll start with Brett or Brent. I kept been calling him Brett all weekend. So we'll start with Brent Spiner. So here is the autograph Funko Pop, and I'll make myself big for a minute, and you guys can check this out. So he is Data, and then he did throw me a quote, and it says, I know it's kind of hard to see all the time. It's let me relarge that again. It says mortality. I can't even read it. Oh, mortality. What does that say, Bob? Gives me meaning to human life. Gives meaning to human life. Mortality gives meaning to human life. So that was a cool quote. So we'll talk about our interaction with Mr. Brent. So what did you think about this interaction? So again, so I kind of started mentioning, we talk a little bit about, at different cons, there's definitely different rules, because we went to GalaxyCon Columbus back in December, and we met a bunch of people. Charlie Cox and Stephen Amin, I can't remember, or Amero, what is it, Amel? I can't remember his name. The guy from Arrow. I'm butchering his last name right now. But we met all these guys. We literally videotaped every single interaction, and I made a video of it, right? And at this con, we met, was it 4 people, right? I think we met
Right.
4. We went to 4 different
and in Columbus, we met my favorite, Jonathan Frakes.
Jonathan Frakes, who was absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
that
number 1 in
interaction.
Star Trek, and
Yep.
amazing guy.
I think
funny, kind of the kind of character you would have imagined. Really nice guy. I liked him a lot. I was impressed with him.
Yeah, he was absolutely amazing. And so I was kind of thinking, when we went to see Brent, I figured it'd be kind of similar, work on the same show. We actually brought that up to him in the conversation. And the one thing is that his handler, and I was trying to explain to Bob when we were at the con. I do know your internet's going in and out.
Yeah, it's probably because my wife.
Oh, we'll take care of her later. Don't worry about that. But it's funny because when we got up to his booth, his handler was not the nicest person. And I try to be respectful and usually ask if we were allowed to record. And it's just funny. Like at GalaxyCon in Columbus, every single person we were able to record. They had no problem with it whatsoever. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Johnny knows it. Yeah, I figured, bro. Jujutsu Kaisen? I don't know, but I have it right here. Boom. There he is. And this is going to be a giveaway. Adam gave this to me. We're going to get to that, though. We're going to get to this. We're going to get to that later on. But it's just funny how like some of these people are so particular in being able to want to be recorded. So Brent did not let us do it. She didn't say anything about allowing us to take pictures. So I was able to go back and get a little footage of him just sitting there. That I'll use in my con video that I will drop tomorrow. But so
yeah, he didn't let you do video, but he talked to us for probably over 5 minutes, like longer than the average person.
Yeah, we were definitely there.
There was a lot of interaction. Like I was surprised.
Yeah, so it's funny because not that I shut down. I get a little irritated when people say I can't record, when you show them the press pass and everything like that. But as soon as they say no, I kind of start like thinking, okay, well then just give me your autograph. We'll talk for a second and let me get out of here and go to the next line. Because if I'm not going to get much from you, not that it doesn't matter, but it's like I don't want to sit here and just waste time because the lines are long at these cons. But he did end up asking us a ton of questions. Like he asked, he's like, well, so is this what you guys are going to do in your video? Is this what you're going to do? I'm like, basically, I just record the interaction because I think people like to see that stuff, because it's not every day you get to see somebody that talking to a big time celebrity, and not that he's some huge celebrity, but like, I mean, he played Data in Star Trek for what, 20 years, 30
Right.
years,
Like late 80s.
yeah. I mean, so 30 years you play the same character, and then like I said, he was also in Independence Day, and he's obviously been in other things as well. But I don't know. I guess I just kind of shut down, because I'm kind of like, okay, I'm a little irritated now. But it was cool because he did start asking us questions. He asked about what he did for a living, and then he told me he was retired, and he started asking questions about his about his employment before he retired. So that was cool. He asked me what I did for a living, and I told him
Where we lived.
yeah, he did. He did kind of rip on Cleveland a little bit, I think. He asked us. He's like, so why do you live in Cleveland? And it's like, you don't really expect that question, right?
Well, I
And
live in Cleveland because of Headless Ned Stark. I mean,
well, boom.
obviously.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, that's why you moved next to me. And if you guys
Well,
didn't know,
yeah.
Funko Nerd is my neighbor. So, and because he's a Browns fan, there you go. There you go. There you go. Real quick, Anthony asked, does Funko Nerd have any Funko Pops?
I have one. Well, I
he's-
used to have two, but now I'm down to one.
So he's got one, and it's the one that he got signed by Jonathan Frakes in GalaxyCon Columbus. Yeah, and I actually bought him the Funko Pop for his birthday, and then we went down.
We
and
won't
got
say
another.
what birthday that was because that's a little embarrassing.
You're like what, 37, 38?
Yeah, I think it was actually the big 4-0.
Terry keep you up all night playing Fortnite. No, but I've been trying to get him to play. I've been trying to tell him, like, even if you don't like the shooting part, there's a race car part too.
Yeah, Terry and I have a couple, maybe three major things in common. We're neighbors. We love Star Wars, and we kind of like beer a little.
We like a beer, just a little bit,
just a tiny bit.
Just a little beer. So going back to Brent, so he goes, so he's like, he asked me what I did for a living. I said, I'm a teacher, and I kind of explained a little bit about why I started my YouTube channel, which I've said on the lives many times. And he said, he's like, oh, okay. So he's like, he started asking a bunch of questions, like asking about, some of it was like kind of, I think he was joking, but like asking about like, oh, so kids these days and that kind of stuff. He's like, oh yeah, we used to get beat in school. And again, I don't know how much he's like kidding around or not. I'm like, I don't know if you're getting beat in school. Like we're not talking. This is in the 1800s, And but he said one thing to me and was really odd. And I told Bob I was going to bring this up. So if you don't want to talk, that's fine. But I have to bring it up because I think it's really strange. So again, this is an actor, right? That I've never met him before, and I have no relationship with him. But he goes, oh, and when I was in high school or middle, or Bob thinks he said elementary. I hope it wasn't elementary. I hope he was like at least talking high school here. He's like, yeah, we used to have to go to swimming in phys ed. And I'm like, yeah, actually, my high school built a swimming pool. I think it was when I was a junior, so we had to do that for like 2 years in phys ed. And obviously nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to change and then go get all soaking wet and come back out and go to your next class. What teenager wants to do that? But he starts talking about how his phys ed teacher used to make all the boys jump in the pool naked. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, they wouldn't even let us put swim trunks on. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, that seems a little inappropriate. I just thought it was a weird, I don't know, Bob. Dude, it was weird. And I still think he was goofing around. I really do. Because there's no chance. Well, who's telling somebody that? I thought it was so strange.
Funko Nerd has no comment.
No comment. He doesn't want to get sued by Brent Spiner. It was really, really odd. It was an odd conversation. Again, he's nice. He's fun. I really wish I could have recorded it. but
I actually think at the end, I think he regretted
I do
not
too.
letting us record. I think because of the questions he was asking, that I think if he would have rethought it, he probably would have done it. But because his handler had that rule, she was like, yeah, you can't do this. But then because we started to talk to him, and I think you especially made him really feel at ease, I think he would have done it. But, it's a hindsight thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely do. And I know, and we were talking later in the evening, like when we were a little bit there a little bit later, we were talking like if we can get his line down, because his line was never crazy busy, but it was very consistent. 7, 8 people online. And like sometimes we get down to like 2 or 3. And I'd be like, if we could just walk right up to him and not have to wait and just kind of walk by, be like, are you ready for that interview now? Or are you ready for the video? But it just never really happened. And we didn't want to be rude and like cut in front of somebody, and I also didn't want to wait in line and then have people come from behind us and see that interaction with him. So it just never kind of really happened. But I do agree. I think that he kind of regretted it, and I think he understood what we were trying to go for with what my channel is. So, but yeah, it was interesting. I still give Jonathan. He's definitely above Brent as far as interactions, but it was an interesting and very odd conversation with him. But
and like you said, I think the opposite, which actually did surprise me, was Iman, who plays Ezra. I had seen his character in the series, and I was like, I don't know if I'm really that impressed. He's good, but and then when you meet him in person, oh my gosh, the guy's a dynamo. I mean, he's all Star Wars. He really bonded with Terry in the interview. I mean, he wants to talk Star Wars. He wants to talk his character. I mean, he was very impressive.
A lot different than what Brent wanted to. He didn't even bring up Star Trek one time, which is really interesting. But Iman was all about it. So here's the autograph from him, and I am glad we went with orange. I know it's kind of hard to see because of the glare with the lights, but I'll have a better image of this in my video tomorrow. But he did quote it. He said this is actually interesting because he brought up the fact that. Let me go back to this review here. So the quote I wanted him to write was, "The Force is my ally. It's all I need." And I showed him, I had like all the quotes that I wanted on my phone. So it's like, boom, it's right here. And he goes, it's funny. He's like, you're like probably the 20th person who's come up here and told me that same quote. And it's actually not right. That's the way it was written in the script. I'm like, okay, cool. And that's probably why Google has it like that, right? He's like, but I actually changed it during the filming and they kept it. And he actually said that the quote actually goes, "The Force is my ally. That's all I need." So he changed it to that. I said, well, I want the quote that is actually said in the film or, in the series. So he ended up doing it like that. So I thought that was pretty cool of him to say that. And that was a couple minute conversation just about the change of the line and everything like that. So, and yes, Umpty, of course I wear flip-flops, bro. Come on. You know who you're talking to here. Of course I wear flip-flops. Dude, I wear shoes to run. That's about it.
Day?
What'd you say?
Did you have shorts on? I don't even remember.
Well, of course I had shorts on. I don't think I've worn these like 3 times.
That sounds right.
Yeah. What's up, Dino Joe? How you doing, man? So the other part of the conversation that was awesome was, so we're talking to him, and again, we had asked him if we could record, and it's just weird. Like his excuse was basically like, well, I gotta be careful with what I say with Disney. And I'm like, well, I'm not really asking you questions. It's more just the interaction between us. But I was unable to do that. But I do have some good photos of that. So we'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow in tomorrow's video. But I'll tell you what, guys, top 5. It's got to be top 5 interactions of all time with celebrities. I mean, he probably trumps some big stars for me. I love meeting Paul Rudd, but Paul Rudd was like 20 seconds. dude, we were up there. Like, I swear, Bob, I think we were up there for 8 minutes. Like, it was long.
Right.
Like, it was just, I asked him about Ray Stevenson. He loves. I mean, he's like, it's so
he
awful
cares
what
about
happened.
fans. He really
Yeah.
does care. And you could tell some of the actors not so much, but he was different.
Yeah, I mean, I try to get a little information from him. He said in Ahsoka season 2, he said that it's going to be because he even admitted kind of that he thought that the first season was a little bit on the slow side because of setting up the story. And I had asked him, I said, well, what are we doing with Ray Stevenson's character? Because I don't think Balin's story is over, and he didn't. I obviously he can't say too much, right? But he definitely, to me, it sounds like they're probably going to recast. I don't think they're just going to get rid of the character, because I think the way he stated it was you want to be respectful of Ray and maybe not recast, because he did. He and it's so funny to hear him even say it, because I was thinking it the whole time. He's like, he probably was the best acting character in the series. And I've gone on record many, many times saying that I thought that Baylan Skoll was the best character in the Ahsoka series.
Well, what about AI though, Terry? I mean, I think AI is a possibility.
It's possible, depending upon how much you want to use that character. I think if they're going to use that, okay, so look at how much they've used Luke, and obviously there's issues with it. Like, it doesn't look 100% like Mark Hamill, but it's good, right? I just think it depends. I think it depends upon how much they want to use the character moving forward. Do they want to have him in one episode, something happens and he changes, you could do that. But if you want that character to actually be in every episode, then I don't know. I think you need to probably recast. But he said that he's like, or you could be respectful and recast because of what the job he did to make that character so engaging and making the fans love that character so much. So I'd be good either way. I don't want the story for Baylan Skoll to end, but I do. The dude was incredible, absolutely incredible in that series. And then the last question I know I asked him was I asked him about the Mortis arc. I said so we're definitely doing something with Mortis here, and he can't really say something. I said just wink at me, just wink. So I feel like we're definitely going to be moving forward with something with Mortis. And he did say that there was a ton more action in season 2. And it sounds like they're filming soon for this. So I'm thinking that's going to drop next year. All right. Let's see. Who would be next? Who do you want to talk about? I want to talk about Alan.
You got Diana.
I got Diana. We could do Diana next. Since
Diana was a great interview for you.
Yeah, so Diana, so the first time I met her was in here's her Funko Pop signed. Again, I know it's a little hard to see. And then I just like the quote from Ahsoka for Dathomir. And she gives a little hint for Tales of the Empire. She had told us like one of the quotes, and so that was pretty cool. And so I met her first in New York Comic Con back in October, and I was able to film our interaction. Actually, her handler actually filmed it for me, and so that's on my New York Comic Con, con video. And I actually messaged her on Instagram about 5 days ago, and just hoping and praying that she would respond. And I get it, she didn't. It's fine, I get it. But when we got up there, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go all out here because I've met her. This is the second time I'm meeting her. I actually pulled out the picture of me and her because I did I did the photo with her in New York. I pulled out the photo so she knew that I was a repeat person coming, and so I pulled it out, showed it to her. We kind of talked a little bit about New York Comic Con a little bit, and I don't know, like you'll see it tomorrow. Like it's over 5 minutes long. The conversation that we had with her. And it was awesome. Like, again, asking me what I do for a living. So I brought that up again, being a teacher and everything. And I mean, there's so much in this 5 minutes. I mean, we're talking about Ahsoka. We're talking about Tales of the Empire. And finally, I just said toward the end, I said, would you mind if I just did a quick little video with you? And I just, I'll just shout out the con. I'll shout you out on Twitter and Instagram and everything. So that's the little 20-some second video that I posted on all my social media, and it was awesome. It was so much fun.
And you know she liked you, Terry, because there was 100 people still waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, and I actually had a couple people in the crowd said, oh, like, what's your channel? Where can I come see you? So that was pretty cool. And
I like the guy in line who actually recognized your logo. He
goes,
I've watched your station.
Yeah, there was a guy that we were kind of like when we were waiting for. I think we were waiting for Alan at this point, maybe. Right. No, it was Iman, because we went to Diana first. We were in line for Iman, and he had mentioned he had said that I think I've seen you before, like reviewing Funko Pops. I'm like, yeah, I do that every so often. I'll do those. So it's cool. I would say that was like really the first time that somebody said they recognized me from YouTube. So that was kind of a big deal. So I actually gave him my I had a few of my new pins on there. So I actually gave him one with it has a QR code for the channel, and so that was pretty cool. That was neat. That was like kind of the first time I felt like I got recognized a little bit. So.
You're famous, Terry.
Yeah. And I made Jonathan Franks famous last year. So.
That's right. And maybe I'll be famous now.
Maybe Funko Nerd will be famous. That's right. And I'll get your. We'll get Funko Nerd's Twitter handle here in a minute. I'm gonna pull it up and you guys can go follow Funko Nerd on Twitter.
No.
He doesn't want you to follow him on Twitter.
No social media.
Yeah, he doesn't do much social media. So, but so then the last person we met was Alan Tudyk. And Alan Tudyk, like I said earlier, he voices K2SO. And really nice autograph here. And then he also threw in a quote for me. My favorite quote: "Congratulations, you are being rescued." And he liked that one. Because he said there's one that he always does. I can't remember the name. I can't remember what the quote is now, but he did say there's one that he does all the time. But that was he did like that one, so that was cool. Alan he's an interesting character. He early in his career. Now, what was the name of the show he's on now? What was it called?
Resident Alien is what I watch.
Resident Alien. I kept saying Alienation. That's a show too, but so Resident Alien, and I have not watched it, but I did watch him in Firefly. Obviously, Rogue One. He was in that. He's been in a couple other shows as well. And he always, and if you guys don't know, he was in Dodgeball. He actually plays the character who thinks he's a pirate. That is Alan Tudyk. So his characters, and Firefly. And his characters always seem to be a little quirky, a little goofy. So how is his character in Resident Alien? Because I'm curious to know.
He is a little quirky.
Yeah. Okay.
He has the funniest speech pattern of any actor. I mean, just so funny. I mean, and that's part of the whole alien thing, but yeah, just hearing him talk makes me laugh. I mean, he is a great character actor.
Yeah. I mean, his and Christina says she even loves it. So there you go. Yeah, I was shocked to hear that you said that most of the time he's actually in alien form in the show. And
he's in alien form only to certain people. Like some humans have a gene defect where they can actually see him. Otherwise, he's camouflaged.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I've never seen it. Like I said, I knew him from Firefly, and then he was in Dodgeball and a few other movies, and then obviously when I found out that he was the voice of K2SO, and then we also while we were in line waiting, we found out that he's actually the voice of the robot. I think it's Sonny, the robot in I, Robot, the movie with Will Smith. So he's actually the voice of that robot as well. So it's interesting. He actor on screen, but also does a lot of voice work as well. So
he was very nice. He was a nice guy too.
Oh yeah, a real nice guy. Again, we were not allowed to record, but we do have some pictures. Bob actually got yelled at because he thought that she was recording, but he wasn't. It was just pictures. But supposedly, I wasn't allowed to be in the picture with him. It was supposed to just be him autographing. But whatever. What are they gonna do? So, but yeah, he's really nice guy. I've actually waited to meet him for a while because I have my Jyn Erso Funko Pop sign from Felicity Jones. I got that in 2017. I met Spencer Wielding last year at ICCC, and he actually was the actor inside of Darth Vader in Rogue One. And K2SO is the one that I've been kind of waiting for here a little bit. Umpty says the same year he went back to Broadway from June to November, taking over the role. Oh, okay. All right. So he played Lancelot in the Spamalot musical. Cool. That's cool. Yeah, a lot of these guys do that, man. A lot of these guys go back to Broadway for a little bit. I mean, I know Russell Crowe did that for a while. He went back to Broadway, you know. And speaking of Russell Crowe, he's one of the guys they've been talking about possibly, you know, bringing on board to play Ray Stevenson's character of Balin Skull. So it'd be interesting to see. But yeah, so those are our interactions, and so we'll talk a few minutes about just the con overall. You know, it's funny. On Thursday we went down there and I met Adam MacArthur. We had the interview with him during press night, and again, absolutely amazing guy. And I'll just say this right now. I'm going to go ahead and link this video in the chat. So I'm going to be giving away the Funko Pop. And all you need to do, guys, is check out the interview. It's about 12 minutes or so. Really, really good interview. And all you got to do is make a comment. And then in next week's live, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all the comments. And I want to use that as a giveaway for next week. So you have a week to go check out the interview. And here I'll pull up let me pull it up right now. I'll grab you guys the link, and I'll also put it in the description below for anybody who watches this on the replay. And let me do that real quick so I don't forget. I think I could pin it too. And I should have had this link already. I apologize, but this is what happens. All right. So I'm going to see if I've never really pinned something in a live chat before, So hopefully I don't mess this up, guys. All right. So it should be there if I did it right. I'm not sure. So it's in the chat. Now, how do I pin it? I'm not sure. Like I can pin it, but it wants me to like use these emoji things. So I'm trying to figure out, and I'll pin it in a minute, but it's in the chat. So I'm not sure why I can see it's blocked by like the little emoji guys, but anywho. So yeah, check that video out, watch it, go ahead and make a comment, and then next Sunday I'll do a giveaway for the Yuji Itadori Pop. All right, so
Adam was definitely a great guy.
Oh, it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he was amazing.
Yeah, I wasn't even expecting the interview. Like, I know that they told us that there will be some people there. You know, I didn't realize that. I mean, he's a pretty big voice actor. We had a great conversation. He knows. I mean, he knows so many people. Because, like I said, he was in Clone Wars. He was in the beginning of season 4, and so I had brought up to him. I said, I told him that I had.
Tell him the Dave story is funny. How he saw Dave like on the street.
He saw Dave on the street.
Yeah. So like a few years after he did his part for Star Wars.
Oh, with Dave Filoni.
Yeah. Randomly.
Yeah.
That was cute because he was like,
read,
like starts walking by him and he's like, Dave. Yeah. And Dave's looking at him like,
Yeah. So Johnny, it's funny you actually bring that up because I do have microphones, and actually I was wearing it in the interview. The issue was I didn't want to make him wait. For some reason, I could not connect it to my computer. I don't know what was happening. So what we ended up doing was I actually ended up using the microphone I use it as a voice, with my phone. We recorded as a voice memo. But I felt like the audio from the computer was just as good. and that's one less thing I had to worry about doing. So when I posted the video, I just left it and I just kind of tweaked it a little bit to get rid of some of the background noise. But really, the audio did sound the same. But I do have them. I mean, most of the time, I wear them all the time when I go to cons. For some weird reason though, it just would not connect to my laptop. I don't know why. I could not figure it out. And like I said, I didn't want to make him sit there and wait. So, but yeah, I do have that. But yeah, so okay, so he played a Bon Calamari. I think his name was Prince Lichar, and he was in a 3-arc episode in season 4. So basically, he ends up becoming king because his father dies and everything like that. He ends up going on a mission with the Tano and that kind of stuff. But you're right. So it's cool because I asked them, one of the questions I said, so tell me about Dave Filoni. How knowledgeable is this guy? And I asked the same question to Tia Sakar, back at ICCC, and almost the same answer. He said that this guy knows everything, and I even asked him a question about his character, and he didn't even know how to respond. Like he didn't even know the answer to it. But I mean, he said he's seen most of Star Wars, but not all of it. But he's like, as far as trivia goes, I'm not very good at it. But he's like, Dave Filoni knows everything. So he's telling us like, so this is season 4. So this is probably back in like 2013, maybe 2012, somewhere in that range. And he was at San Diego Comic-Con a couple years after he had filmed. So this is now we're talking like by 14 or something. And he ends up walking by Dave Filoni on the street at San Diego Comic-Con. And he goes, "Hey, Dave, hey, I filmed with you a couple years ago." And he couldn't recall his name, Adam, but he's like, Prince Lichar. And he said it was awesome. He said it was amazing. And he said he's a really, really nice guy. And he said that, I guess, one of the questions I had asked Vanessa Marshall when she was on the channel, I said, when you guys do your voiceovers for the characters, are you guys all in the same room? And she had told me for Rebels, it was sometimes yes, sometimes no. He told me when they filmed his 3 episodes that they were all in the room at the same time. So it was him, Ashley and him, and Matt Latner, who voiced Anakin Skywalker, and D. Bradley Baker was there. He was always the clones, and he said it was absolutely awesome. He's so grateful that he was able to ever be in Star Wars, and so I thought that was really cool. Like I said, you guys can check out the whole interview, make a comment, and like I said, we'll do that giveaway next week. But Adam was incredible, absolutely incredible. All right, so let's talk about the con itself. So I know on that day and that first day,
too crowded, Terry. Too many people.
Yeah,
too small of a venue.
So in Cleveland, it's so funny because the convention center is not that big, and I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Like, so I've been to Motor City Con, which is in Detroit, and Motor City Con's convention center is probably bigger than ours. But the con itself, I felt smaller because they didn't use the whole convention center. It was really odd. And I just don't know if they didn't have enough exhibitors coming in that are, trying to sell, toys and Funkos and whatever they're trying to sell. Because that part of Motor City Con I thought was very, very small compared to Cleveland. Cleveland definitely had more. I agree. We have something in Cleveland called the IX Center at our airport. It is massive. I don't understand why they don't try to move it and go there, because it's a lot more roomy. It's way larger. Obviously, it probably costs more money, but overall, I mean, I think it would definitely be the right move for the con because there was a lot of people. Like, you could barely walk. I didn't think the lines were crazy, but again, I know we had talked about this, Bob, that we had all 4 of the Hobbits, and that was what the one side of the area where the autographs were. Those lines
were probably 2
crazy.
Hours. Yeah.
Well over. Yeah. For each one, so if
there were a couple celebrities where maybe there was no line, which was actually a little surprising, but yeah.
Yeah, but like, if you went there with your Lord of the Rings poster to try to get those four
You'd be
hobbits,
waiting. Yeah.
that's all day. Like that's all you did the whole day was wait in those lines because that's how crazy it was to
I
have
don't
all four of
think
those.
they had any other cons recently where they had all four of them
Mm.
together to do that kind of group photo. So it was definitely a big deal.
Oh, definitely was a huge deal. Like I think Ryan had told me that in one of the cons overseas. I think he said they were all there, or maybe 3 out of the 4. But yeah, to have all 4, and then they had a huge panel on Saturday night at 7:30. We had left by then because we were exhausted, so we didn't make it to that panel. But I heard the panel was really, really good. So,
But it was
uh,
only like what, $800 for your picture and autographs.
yeah, yeah, they had some special. It was like $800. You got all the autographs, and you got a picture with all 4 of them. So I don't know. I mean, it's a little pricey, but hey, I guess they all got to make their own money. So, but yeah, overall, I thought the con was good. I just, the venue was too small for it. If they're gonna have that many people show up and come in, But again, like I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Last year, they had no. This is maybe 2 years ago. So it used to be called Wizarding World. Fan Expo took it over like 2 years ago. So this is the third year. I think it was 3 years ago. They were supposed to have Jason Momoa. I know he ended up canceling. The following year, it was Bo-Katan. So it was Katie Sackhoff. And I know she was kind of like the big draw. I think they had Giancarlo Esposito as well last year. So those were like your big ones. So this year they did. I mean, dude, bring in all 4 hobbits, and you got 2 big stars from the Ahsoka series. Like I thought overall it was really good. I mean, I thought they had some pretty good guests. Brett Spiner. They had I think Randy Quaid was there. He's from Vacation Movies, Cousin Eddie. They had, I'm trying to think who else off the top of my head. They
The
had
the actors from the series Earl.
Yep, they had the 2 actors from Earl. My Name is Earl. They had Matthew Lewis, who I heard already met back a couple years ago down in Cincinnati. So he plays Neville Longbottom in Harry Potter. So he was there. But yeah, I thought for a Cleveland convention, which I haven't really heard much about. Like I know it's here, but like I never hear these names. I thought they brought some pretty big names in this year, and I was I was fun. It was fun. Like I said, I would say my biggest complaint is that it's just the convention center is just too small for what they did. Like
I enjoyed it because it was free.
And there you go. That is the benefit of being able to get press passes. And then you get and like I said, I got really lucky to be able to talk to Diana. So that was awesome. Which you guys will see tomorrow in the video. So, all right. Well, since Ryan's not here, I'm not going to talk any Fallout. I did watch the first 2 episodes of Fallout on Amazon Prime. I'm not going to talk about it. Bob has not seen it. I'm not going to just sit here and just talk to myself for the next 10 minutes about it. But if you haven't seen it, check it out. It is really good. I like what they're doing. They have it. It almost acts like a serious tone, but there's so much comedy in it too. It's a very interesting show. So, but I'm only 2 episodes in, so I might be making videos on it. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Before I get out of here, I want to do the channel member giveaway. So if you are not a channel member, this is your chance quickly to go sign up. $2.99 a month. You get 10% off the merch store. You get your name shout out at the end of every single video. You also get exclusive content, member only videos, and I have not done a member only live yet, but that's what I want to do. I would love to do some Fortnite or something like that, hang out with the channel members. So that's kind of in the works. And then obviously you get entered into the bi-monthly giveaways. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And I do want to shout out Anthony Blaze, because Anthony is actually he's actually giving me the giveaway for this month because he won the last 2, and he wants to just do something nice for the community. So it's going to be coming from Anthony. So if you guys don't mind, if you're not already subbed to his channel, please go ahead and sub over to Anthony's channel. It will be a 6-pack mystery soda collection box. So it's going to be 6 sodas you're going to be receiving for this one. So it's again, Anthony, I appreciate it, brother. Let's go ahead and pull up our little horse or duck race, whatever we call it. Let me grab that really quick, and then we'll get on out of here, guys. So again, if you want to sign up now, do it now because I'm gonna be doing the race here in moments. All right, so let's do this 30-second timer, and I just need to punch in the names. So give me one quick moment. I think currently, we're up to 8. I think right now I'm at 5 channel members. So Blaze, I'm assuming you probably don't want me to put your name in there, so I will leave him out. So we have Johnny, and we have Umpty, Poppin. Let's see, and the last person would be who would the last person? Well, I don't want to forget anybody. Make sure I got this right. You you want to win? Do you really want me to put your name in there? All right. All right. Big easy then. All right. So here we go. All right. Let me pull this up, guys. We'll knock this thing out. All right. All right. So give me a number. First number I see in the chat. That's how many times we'll shuffle this thing up here. I need a number. 3. All right. Christina says 3. All right. 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. Good luck to everybody. Here we go.
Poppins. Well, maybe Johnny.
All right, here we go. Coming down the last 10 seconds.
Big Easy.
Big Easy in the lead.
Wow, Big Easy is like really pulling.
Big Easy's just crushing it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, late push by Johnny! All right, so Big Easy takes it. So, Big Easy, if you watch this on the play, I'll message you on Instagram as well. I just need your address, so I will go ahead and get that from you. What's up, Michael Price? How you doing, brother? It's been a long time, man. How you doing? Oh yeah, dude, I'll be at NYCC. Tickets should be going on sale here very, very soon too. I know they just announced a couple things, so I'm thinking like probably the end of May or beginning of June. All right, so Big Easy, we will be sending that over to you. I don't know, Anthony, but tomorrow or Tuesday probably send that out to him. And yeah, congratulations, brother. And then like I said, guys, don't forget, check out the link above. And if you guys check out the video, make a comment, and I'll be giving away that other Funko Pop next week's live. And that you do not have to be a channel member for that. All you need to do is just comment on the video. So again, really, really good interview. Adam was awesome. And then, like I said, I really appreciate it because he was incredible.
And probably your best guest star ever.
Maybe second best.
I mean, like star. Funko Nerd.
Well, like Funko Nerd, probably the best guest star ever. All right, guys. Anything else for the good of the order? Any last comments or anything there, Funko Nerd?
Nope.
All right.
Beers on the deck in 10 minutes.
What'd you say?
Beers on the deck in 10 minutes.
Beers in the deck in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm in. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back next Sunday. We'll do that giveaway. And yeah, you never know who's going to show up. So, all right, don't forget to keep those heads on, and I'll see you guys in the next video.